pleasure to introduce Ibu Lenny Rosalin, the Chair of ASEAN Committee on Women, to provide her opening remarks. Ibu Lenny, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. His Excellency, Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Singapore. His Excellency, Mr. Kiel Patterson, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Norway to ASEAN. Dr. Yang Mi-eng, Executive Director of the ASEAN Foundation. Ms. Laina Green, Founder and CEO of Angels of Impact. Representatives from the ASEAN Committee on Women, or ACW, the Asian Coordinating Committee on Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, ACCMSME, and the ASEAN Women Entrepreneurs Network, or AWEN. Social enterprises of the WISE Fellowship Program, honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm honored to welcome you all to this event. The Women Impacting Social Entrepreneurship, or WISE project, has arrived at a timely manner as ASEAN reaffirms its commitment to achieve gender equality and empowerment of women, particularly amidst the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. ACW, as the sponsoring ASEAN body of the project, acknowledges the importance of uplifting women-led social enterprises. Doing so directly contributes to achieving SDGs 1 on reducing poverty and SDGs 5 on achieving gender equality and women empowerment, especially in the ASEAN region. This is in line with the project's goal to prepare social enterprises to be funding ready, to get them funded, and connect them with partners for market access so they can confidently absorb capital. Women-led social enterprises face difficulties in accessing and securing capital and funding support. This is due to a lack of interest from banks and impact investors to finance sustainable efforts on poverty eradication and gender equality. Often called the missing middle, women-led social enterprises are key agents to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. The ASEAN Leaders Special Session at the 36th ASEAN Summit on Women's Empowerment in the Digital Age, held in June last year, underscored the importance of enhancing the welfare and development of all women and children in ASEAN, improving access and responding to challenges as a result of rapid development of ICT. Further, the leaders agreed that addressing gender inequality and preventing and combating violence against women are essential to responding to and recovering from the pandemic. Relatedly, the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework served as a consolidated strategy for ASEAN to emerge more resilient and stronger from the COVID-19 crisis, giving due consideration to the hardest hit sectors and vulnerable groups. The framework focused on 5 broad strategies, namely enhancing the health system, strengthening human security, maximizing the potential of intra-ASEAN market and broader economic integration, accelerating inclusive digital transformation, and advancing towards a more sustainable and resilient future. Ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN Committee on Women continues its effort to promote the achievement of the SDGs. In March 2021, this year, ACW, with support from UN Women and the ASEAN Secretariat, has launched the ASEAN Gender Outlook, achieving the SDGs for all and leaving no woman or girl behind. The Gender Outlook is a milestone report that looks at the gains, gaps, and challenges in achieving the SDGs in ASEAN countries against the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic by using a gender lens. ACW has just concluded the 4th ASEAN Ministerial Meeting on Women and related meetings in October this year and was guided by the theme Digital Economy and Financial Inclusion for Improving ASEAN Women's Competitiveness. During the meeting, the ministers agreed to accelerate efforts that include women in the digital economy, financial inclusion, and asset ownership. These efforts include improving accessibility and affordability of financial products and services, promoting interoperability among financial institutions, strengthening connectivity and streamlining financial support, disseminating information on e-commerce, digital platforms, and financial technology, conducting capacity building or trainings, coaching, and mentoring, and enhancing market opportunities and linkages. The recently launched ASEAN-UN ESCAP joint report on addressing unpaid care work in ASEAN underscored the need to address the root causes of unequal distribution of care and domestic work, as these are deeply entrenched gender norms and stereotypes that require collective action. Further, the report identified priority actions related to women's economic empowerment that may be undertaken by ASEAN countries, UN ESCAP, and development partners in 2021 and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, in forging ahead as a more resilient ASEAN community, the ASEAN Committee on Women, or ACW, together with key partners, stakeholders, and the ASEAN Secretariat is making sure that the efforts in advancing gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls remain at the core of ASEAN recovery efforts during and beyond the COVID-19 pandemic. In closing, I would like to express my gratitude to the government of Norway, ASEAN Foundation, Angels of Impact, and the ASEAN Secretariat for very good collaboration and support to implement the WISE Fellowship Program 2021 and its final event today. I look forward to a fruitful and productive discussion with everyone. With this, I conclude my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ibu Lenny. I really appreciate that insightful address, especially in terms of ensuring that we have a gendered lens in terms of our resilience and recovery out of this pandemic, and making sure that we're including women and girls and making sure that no one is left behind. So thank you so much for calling that out. I'm sure we really